Opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, I thought that was a good win for our team, especially coming back from last night where we weren't very effective and we didn't really execute well on special teams, and I thought tonight it won us a game. I thought our penalty killing was really good, and we did 5-on-6 to me is a special team, and it's something that we practice. We need to do it for 3.5 minutes, and we're able to get the insurance goal during the 5-on-6. So overall on the weekend, I mean, I think Holy Cross is an extremely well-coached team. They're really hard to play against. They have good special teams. You know, they're going to be a really good team in the Atlantic Hockey League. So I was happy with the win today. I was happy with our play 5-on-5. We didn't really give up much 5-on-5, and it was a good bounce back.
What was the difference with the penalty kill tonight?
We made a couple adjustments, trying to take away some of the things that they did really well last night. A couple things were our mistakes, just being out of position, but they also ran some plays that we hadn't necessarily seen, and we made some adjustments to those, and I thought it was pretty good.
Trey Scott makes his debut,
Yeah.
scores on his debut. Why did you feel like you'd be a good pick for the lineup?
He's just played really well in the preseason, and thought it was time to get him in and see what he could do in a game, and it was nice. First game, first goal, so happened to be the GWG too, so it's a good first game for him.
Coach, how do you keep the aggressive play as far as forechecking in your O zone without taking penalties? I mean, the penalties that we're taking weren't, selfish penalties or anything like that. They're trying to make a play and maybe a little overextended on, reaching and things like that.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. How many? I don't have a box score. What do we have to kill?
Our best guess is currently 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if I'm correct, I think all 5. Well, Richard's was an interference, but all 5 were in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
And we can't be taking penalties in the offensive zone. And some of it's technique. I haven't seen them all, but some of it's technique and some of it's just playing smarter.
How about music save? I mean, was that the biggest? I mean, it's short season here. We're 4 games in. Was that the biggest save yet?
I haven't seen it yet. Like, I was watching something else. Like, I was actually kind of watching Backdoor, but it was,
It's beautiful.
he got over and made a great save.
What did you think about the overall defensive performance? You had him under 10 shots in the game until until they pulled the goalie.
Yeah, you can hold a team like that under 10 shots for 60 minutes. And I'd love to see how many of them were 5-on-5. I mean, probably most of them were either power play or, I thought we played really solid defensively. All weekend, 5-on-5, we played very well defensively. Even their 5-on-5 goal last night was kind of a fluke goal. It was a crazy bounce off the glass.
Talk a little bit about Joey Muldowney and his impact so far.
He's been playing great. I was happy to see him get rewarded tonight because he's had so many chances, and tonight for him, and that was a big goal for us to be able to go back into the first period 1-1 as opposed to 1-0. That was a really big goal for us.
Felt like he was a little due, wasn't he, after the way he started?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's been playing great, and I've told him just stay patient and keep getting shots on net. And he did that. He scored a nice goal.
How do you want to shore up the penalties as the season goes on? Is it maybe something early in the season right now? The cardio might not be there because it's so early, so there's a lot of reaching penalties. Is this something you feel like you can shore up as the season goes along?
Yeah, I think so. I think 2 of those today for sure are avoidable. If you take 5 or 6 penalties in a game, one's maybe in a marginal call, 2 are usually avoidable, and 3 sometimes that just happens, But we should aim to, for me, 3 or fewer penalties in a game is where we should be at, not 5 and 6.
technique-wise, what worked in the face-off circle? That first period, I think you went 14 out of 16, and first 2 periods, really, they saw some success. Holy Cross did in the third period.
I think some of it, Randy, was face-off intensity, I think. You know, I thought we had it last night in the first period, but it kind of got away from us a little bit. And it's not just your center snapping it back, it's he needs help from the guys on, you know, in your defensive zone, you need help from your D, and your offensive zone, you need help from your wings. So there's a lot of components that go into whether you win or lose a face-off. It's not just necessarily your center, you know, snapping the puck back. So it's an area we'll continue to work on.
I think Joey's goal was about a little more than a minute after Holy Cross scored. Last night, you scored 2 pretty quick goals after Holy Cross scored. What do you think you guys did well to be able to respond quickly from going down and giving up goals?
Yeah, it's always a point of emphasis for us to have a good shift, whether we score or whether we get scored on. That next shift, like, let's make it a great shift. Because whatever's happened in the past is in the past. You got to move forward, and that's something that, like I said, we always make a point of emphasis.